A very good morning to one and all present here today. Science deals with the psychic, and spirituality deals with the spirit. One deals with the visible, and the other with the invisible. In the same way, one deals with the outer, and the other deals with the inner. One is knowledge, and the other is wisdom. One supports the other. They are complementary. So, our topic for today's assembly is Science and spirituality go hand in hand. To commence the assembly, let us have Ekansh for the first slok and the Hindi prayer, followed by Aishwarya for the English prayer. Please join your hands and close your eyes.
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव वन्दनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव या कुन्दे दुदुषार्यधबला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीरावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्मायुधशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवर सदा वन्दिता सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाज्ञापहा हे प्रभु आनंददाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए शीघ्र सारे सतगुणों से पूर्ण हमको कीजिए लीजिए हमको शरण में हम सदाचारी बने ब्रह्मचारी धर्म रक्षक वीर व्रतधारी बने असतो मा सतगमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया ओम शांति शांति शांति.
God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Thanks be to God. The new word for today is metanoia, which means the journey of changing one's mind, heart, or way of life, which is a spiritual conversion.
Thank you, Ekansh and Aishwarya. Now, I would like to invite my classmate Sukriti to tell us all an interesting fact about today.
Good morning, everyone. Today is the World Sauntering Day, a day to encourage people to slow down, appreciate and enjoy the world around them, instead of always being in a rush, because a thing of beauty is a joy forever. On this day, I would like to recite a beautiful poem entitled Leisure. What is this life, if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare, no time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep and cows. No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts and grass. No time to see in broad daylight streams full of stars like skies at night. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this is, if full of care. We have no time to stand and stare. On this day, I would like you all to sit back and enjoy the assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Sukriti. To throw some more light on our topic for today, I would like to invite Aryamik, Kingshuk, Palak, Shambhavi, and Chaitanya for a discussion.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you are having a great day. Today, I am going to tell you something about science. We live in a world where we use electric toothbrushes to keep our mouths clean. A world that depends too much on science and technology. Now, did I use the word science? I think I did. Science is the study of natural laws and the physical world. According to me, science is everywhere. in the AC or the fan that is making you feel cool. Even my voice, which I hope is not boring you, contains science. Science can be confusing, mysterious, marvelous, exciting, and challenging, especially if we are preparing for a test. It is the application of knowledge and understanding of the natural and social world following a systematic methodology based on evidence. In other words, science is one of the most important channels of knowledge. Without science, there is no human truth, no technical advances, no knowledge generation, and the world shall stagnate.
Okay, Aramid, I need to stop you here. If you are saying that science is so much important, then spirituality is no less. And I will tell you that what is spirituality and why is it so important. Spirituality involves exploring certain universal themes like love, compassion, altruism, life after death, wisdom, and truth. Spiritual people have positive effect on their mental health, high self-esteem, are optimistic and have meaning and purpose in their life. Medicines work quickly and more efficiently. If a person takes them with positivity and accept the treatment as a gift of the divine. Science without spirituality is baseless. A scientist has to believe in his experiments and then only he can get to a positive conclusion. Spiritual writer and Indian philosopher Dr. Kiri Joshi says that spirituality includes a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves. That is none other than the divine power, who gives us the power to overcome any possible disaster. Let's talk about this pandemic. Millions are affected, but still the hope for betterment remains. And that, my friend, is because of the faith in the divine power. We are assured that He will handle everything and give us a better future. I think that spirituality is a metanoia, which means the journey of changing one's mind, heart, self, or the way of life, or the spiritual conversion. What do you think about this, Palak?
Yes, of course. I totally agree with you, King Shuk and Aramik. I'm aware of the fact that science and spirituality both are incredible streams. But have you ever imagined what wonders they can do together? If we look at modern medicine, we find a whole new approach to healing. In the past, we thought healing occurred by the administration of certain drugs. Those in a new field of medicine talk about the mind body connection. They speak of healing the body by healing the mind and using the power of the soul. In some of the greatest medical institutions in the world, doctors are advocating meditation as a way to reduce stress and eliminate stress related illnesses. Studies reveal that people who spend time in meditation recover sooner from surgery than those who do not. We are living in a wondrous age, my friend, in which the lines between science and spirituality are being blurred. Sri Shraddhalu Ranade, a scientist, educationist, and scholar, says that faith and spirituality seem to act positively on the immune system. So, the true meaning of life can be explained either by spirituality or by science. But to get the complete meaning of your life, you must value them both. Thank you.
Agreed, friends. Now I would like to explain it through my self composed poem. Spirituality seeks within, while science seeks for outer. Spirituality is the study of soul, while science deals with matter. Scientist makes a lab outside, whereas spiritualist dwells it inside. Still, the difference between them is not so wide. Both want to understand Lord's creatures. They search for the hidden laws of nature. Searching for truth is their aim. Their discoveries benefit man. Similarities are many. The line of difference is blurred. One believes in the outer being, while the other seeks inward. Both are connected. Let's search for it. Spirituality gives us a purpose, science holds the power to achieve it. Thank you.
Let's understand the topic more through these examples. According to our traditional beliefs, eating curd and sugar before heading out is considered to be auspicious and lucky. But scientifically, the consumption of curd has a cooling effect on our stomach, and sugar, which is added, provides instant glucose, which makes your work easier and successful. It is forbidden to chew tulsi leaves because it is considered a sacred plant related to Lord Vishnu. But scientifically, tulsi leaves have mercury in them, which is not good for the tooth enamel, and thus one must not chew them. Falling off lizard on human body is considered a bad luck, but the scientific reason behind this is that the lizard releases poisonous chemicals from its body in order to protect itself from enemies. And if it falls on human body or food, it is bound to contaminate. So, bait is taken after it falls on someone. Earlier, we just were following traditions, but now we have a scientific explanation for almost every such kind of belief. So, there is certainly a connection. Thank you.
I am sure we all enjoyed this insightful discussion. I would like to now invite our beloved class teacher, Vaishna ma'am, without whose guidance we would not have been able to organize today's assembly, to speak a few words.
Thank you so much, Zoya. Good morning, all of you. Science and spirituality go hand in hand. This correlation is not something which is novel, but it has its roots down our Indian beliefs. We all know the birth story of Lord Ganesha, where the elephant's head was implanted on a human child, regarded then as chamatkar, was actually a transplant surgery. Sahadev, one of the Pandavas, practiced meditation for several years and was enlightened with the knowledge of what is going to happen in the future, which in modern world we call premonitions. Many neuroscientists have proven that premonitions are actually possible because here the intense neural signals flow in the body. So, of course, there is some connection between science and spirituality. The tradition of offering water to the sun, Surya ko jal arpan karna, has immense spiritual importance in our Indian culture. You will be amazed to know that spectrum of sun rays passing through water breaks into 7 colors. When our skin is exposed to this dispersed sunlight, it makes vitamin D from cholesterol. Again, it is also mentioned in the Shastras that Grahan period is unlucky and considered as a dosh. So one should not see it and one should not eat during this period. And we all are following this since generations. However, when we examine the same belief through the lens of science, we find the radiations coming out during an eclipse can burn our retinal cells and can badly affect the food and give birth to bacteria, which we, when consumed, may cause indigestion and may lead to many diseases. And that is the reason why you must have seen your mothers putting leaves of tulsi in food during an eclipse period, as it has antibacterial properties that prevents the growth of bacteria. I'll give you an example from today's era. The man behind the well-known Human Genome Project, which was much into the news recently, Francis Collins, advocated for the integration of faith and reason, saying that the sequence of DNA is nothing but the message of God. It all depends on how we interpret it and develop characters. So, if we funnel out the whole discussion, those in spirituality are searching their answers in science, and somewhere those in science are trying to explain things spiritually. Now, I'm leaving you with a food for thought that all our religious scriptures like Gita, Quran, Bible are just the religious books, or they have a strong scientific tangent to it. Swayam vichar kijiye, think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your interesting and informative words. Silence is a great healer. Let yourself block out the noise of the world from time to time and listen to your inner voice. It will tell you what you need. With this thought in mind, let us all close our eyes for a minute of silence and pray for the well-being of our friends, our family, and our planet. Thank you, everyone. Now, I request respected Principal Ma'am to address the gathering.
Good morning, teachers and children. A very interesting topic. Thank you, Varsha ma'am, for taking up that topic and children for bringing it out so beautifully. It is essential to take these topics in school so that we do not progress the way we are progressing at the moment. See, children, it is very essential for all of us to progress, to become the perfect versions of ourselves, to move up from where we are at present. But we have to have an inclusive approach. That is, in our growth, in our progress, should be the progress of humanity. This is something which you can do only if you rise above selfishness, which is possible only with spirituality. So, science and spirituality, they are not antithesis, or I should say contradictory. They should always be in agreement. And this is what we have seen in this pandemic time when we were confined to our homes. There are various examples and you can look at them yourself. I'll not talk about those. If both of them will be in agreement, then human progress will be inclusive. If one moves without the other, growth of humankind will be lopsided, asymmetrical. And asymmetry is not the rule of nature. Anything which goes against the laws of nature is never permanent, does not give us joy. At Jaipuriya school, we always say that growth has to be inside out. When you look at only science, then you are referring only to the mind, and that is outer growth. But when you talk of spirituality, then it is inner growth. And these have to go hand in hand so that you have a spiritual experience, and that spiritual experience leads you towards a quest to find its reason, whose basis is science. For example, a rainbow or the magnetic field of the earth. You can understand someone must have immersed himself in this enigmatic experience of a rainbow, or why things were attracted towards earth. And only after this immersion, he would have gone into finding the reason for this experience. Now, that experience is spiritual and the reason is scientific. So, the spiritual experience takes you to the reason. Now, why should it take you towards science? And why should they be inclusive? Because if they are not inclusive, then man starts feeling, I am the one who is doing everything. And that makes humankind egoistic. And then we move away from the inclusive approach, resulting in destruction. The sensitivity is lost. So for everybody's growth, for inner growth, spirituality is essential. But to reach your perfection, science is equally important. So that you don't become selfish and egoistic, science should bring you back into spirituality. So in a way, they are like a reversible reaction. Music. Okay. Many times when you hear someone play the tabla or the violin, any of these string instruments, you close your eyes. Or when you hear a song, you say it's a soulful song, right? Now, this soulful experience must have led to the development of all these instruments to bring more melody into it. But the first experience was spiritual experience. And the one who's found those instruments has led himself into the scientific quest that this experience should have to be better than before. But at the same time, if somebody plays the instruments without any feeling, do you think we'll reach anywhere? No. The soulful music will not be existent. So that is how science and spirituality, they are related everywhere in every field. Children, the moment you feel, oh wow, what a discovery, what an invention, you have to think, you have to feel it from the heart, how far to take it so that it does not harm anyone, and we are responsible for growing inwardly along with science. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Adya will now recite the last shloka.
Sarvesham swastirabhavatu, sarvesham shantirabhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु।